Hi, everyone. Dow Jones Investment Banker is really the result of a strategy we have at Dow Jones where we take content and technology products and assets like Factiva, which I think everyone's probably familiar with, and add the expertise we have in our journalism and our news and our newspaper business to create relevance for a particular audience. In this case, investment bankers who, frankly, right now can probably use all the help they can get, and other financial professionals who have similar needs. So what we've done with Dow Jones Investment Banker is, on top of Factiva, added a layer of editorial curation, where we're selecting stories, a layer of editorial creation, we're actually writing specifically for this product, and of course, workflow and tools. So I'll take you through the app, but first I want to mention a little bit about the team that's doing this. The editorial team that we have for this product is actually dedicated to our product, and they come from a little bit different background than your typical journalistic teams. They, for the most part, come from the space. A lot of them are ex-bankers. They have backgrounds in finance, and many times they support their opinions with supporting documents like Excel models and PowerPoints, et cetera. Their job every day is, across all the industries that we cover in all the regions, 24/7 globally, to select the most relevant news articles, blog posts, trade journal publications, opinion pieces, and on top of that, to write for the space, to write forward-looking, transaction-focused commentary, deal-related commentary, and like I said, to support their opinions in much the way our banking clients would do so, which makes this a little bit unique. So I'll take you through the app. The first thing you may notice is that it actually looks very similar to the layout of the Wall Street Journal app. This is not a coincidence. We thought, first of all, the app was very good, the Journal app, and we think there's a lot of overlap in our user bases. So we thought it was a good experience to use. Also, when you, much like the Journal, when you upload the app and launch it, all the content that is in the app is available for download. It's downloaded automatically into the app, and this is important for our users because they tend to travel a lot. They're on planes, they're otherwise disconnected, and that's a very important part of the experience for them. And this translates not just for the editorial curated part of this, but the part that hooks back with Factiva. So if you're familiar with Factiva, one of the things you can do on our web part of our product, dgibanker.com, is set up your own My Topics. And these are usually the results of a very, can be a very sophisticated query that is set up by a user or people that work at a user's firm. It represents their companies, their specific sectors, their regions. These are ones that I just set up pretty recently. You can see they're very specific to me: Asia M&A, Hong Kong debt capital, and Keith wheat markets, because my cousin owns a bakery on the Upper East Side and he likes to get commodity price information. But it's very specific to me. So if I click on a story, it's available offline, downloaded, et cetera. If I go back to the home page, again, it's very sort of familiar, newspaper-y-like kind of interface. All the content is curated for this product or created for this product. And the first thing I might do is select a particular industry, like energy in this case. Over here, you're looking at top stories selected by our team. If you click on a story, you get a preview. If you click on the preview, you get the article. Articles, of course, can be emailed. They can be saved. And one of the things that we're doing is actually saving an archive of 7 full issues, not just your saved articles, but all the content that's in any of the issues back, which you can go to at any time, and then, of course, the articles that you're specifically saving for yourself. If I go back to the current issue, back to energy, some of the other collections that we have, which are really the groupings of stories, in addition to top news, we have something called opinion, which is commentary either written by our team or selected by our team. It can come from Dow Jones. It doesn't have to come from Dow Jones. The interface is hopefully very easy for people. It's swiping, it's newspaper, it's very visually appealing and yet easy to use, and the content rather is very targeted for you though. If I go back to my homepage, some of the other collections, strategy, this is really, as opposed to some of the other collections which are very investment banking coverage focused, this is really macroeconomic information. For example, like housing starts are of interest to bankers, but they may not be specific to their coverage areas, but that's where we cover it. Another section called Best of the Blogs. These are mostly blog articles, but it really can be anything that comes outside of Dow Jones and trade publications, other sources. And if you click on a particular article, it's going to go out to the actual site that it originally came from. If this doesn't come up, I'm going to blame it on Wi-Fi. These are not, these can be downloaded in, there was the Reuters site, but are not, this is the one section where it's not done natively because we can't store other people's content, but it does bring up the site, and then you can click save, and it'll save it for the next time inside that same interface. Banker Moves, as you might imagine, this is essentially gossip, where people are moving to, et cetera. And on the bottom, we have something called Most Mentioned. This is a visualization for this particular sector telling you the most mentioned companies and people in the last 2 days. And that's really the app in a nutshell. Happy to take any questions. And we can also, if anyone's interested in a free trial, I think Fran Jones is here from Dow Jones in the back, standing up, happy to set people up or contact me directly. Yeah, there's a double answer to that. We have a dedicated staff. We, like everyone, don't release full numbers. It is in the dozens, not in the hundreds. And of course, they rely very heavily on the 2,100 journalists that Dow Jones has throughout our other businesses, working closely with them and taking content from them. But that part is that size. Sure. If I heard that correctly, are there any plans to take this model and apply it to other areas? Oh, it's code. I mean, this was developed by the same team that did the Wall Street Journal app. There are other places where it's being used in the business. The same team is reusing things as appropriate. I'm not aware of any. I'm not aware of any like wholesale movements of this exact base to another product, but it may well be going on. Not thought about that. Not that I'm aware of. Sure.
Nice job, Ian. Question: any use of video or rich media, or do you see that coming?
We had some video on our site, on the web part. We didn't find that it got a tremendous amount of traction, mostly because our client base isn't watching a tremendous amount of video for its own sake. I think where we got traction on that is where there's a video that's particularly IB focused, like an interview with a CFO talking about his banking needs. I'm going to go in a meeting with this guy. I want to see his body language, et cetera. On the app, we didn't put it in there simply because we didn't get a lot of uses on the website, but it's still very much in our minds, and we're not sure yet.
Anything else? Okay. Great.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.